Here's a possible plot twist. What if Serkete stumbles into a trap meant for Osman? Let's say he's sent to scout a Byzantine outpost tied to Sophia's deal, only to discover it's a setup. Maybe Nikola or Sophia planted false intelligence to lure Osman into an ambush. Serkete, being Serkete, might decide to take matters into his own hands, thinking he can handle it alone. But instead of escaping unscathed, he gets captured or gravely injured. This would be a gut-wrenching moment for fans, as Serkete's larger-than-life personality makes him a fan favorite. The twist wouldn't just be about the danger he's in, it'd be about how his predicament forces Osman to make a tough call, risk a rescue mission that could expose the tribe to attack, or leave Serkete to his fate. Why does this matter? Serkete's arc has always been about redemption, and a twist like this would test how far he's come. If he's captured, we might see him endure torture or interrogation, refusing to betray Osman even when it costs him. This would cement his growth from a reckless fighter to a true hero of the K tribe. For Osman, the decision would highlight the show's theme of sacrifice. Every choice he makes as a leader comes with a price, and saving Serkete could mean putting the tribe's safety on the line. Episode 191 might end with a cliffhanger, like Osman riding out to rescue his loyal Alp, setting up an emotional payoff in the next episode. This twist would remind us that in Kuruluş Osman, even the supporting characters carry the weight of the Empire's future. The spiritual core, Şike guidance. Kuruluş Osman isn't just about swords and battles, it's deeply rooted in the spiritual and moral values that shaped the Ottoman vision. Şike Bali, Osman's mentor and father-in-law, has been a guiding light throughout the series, offering wisdom that keeps Osman grounded. His presence in recent episodes has been quieter, but his influence is always felt, especially when Osman faces moral dilemmas. With the controversy over Sophia's deal stirring up distrust, episode 191 could bring Ibali back into the spotlight with a twist that ties the spiritual to the political. Picture this. What if Ibali receives a vision or delivers a cryptic warning about Osman's path? Maybe during a quiet moment of prayer, he senses a looming betrayal, not from Sophia or Nikola, but from someone closer to home, like a bey or even a family member. This wouldn't be a straightforward prophecy but a riddle that Osman must interpret, adding layers of intrigue. The twist could come when Osman misinterprets Idebali's words, leading him to suspect the wrong person, say, Malhun or Karisi Bey, causing friction that plays into his enemy's hands. This would be a classic Kuruluş Osman move, blending the mystical with the practical to create tension. This plot twist would resonate with the show's theme of faith as both a guide and a challenge. Idebali's role has always been to remind Osman that true leadership requires humility and trust in a higher purpose. If Osman stumbles here, it'd show his human side, struggling to balance his instincts with Idebali's wisdom. Episode 191 might give us a powerful scene where Ibali counsels Osman, urging him to look beyond the battlefield to the hearts of those around him. For fans, this would be a reminder of why the show feels so unique. It's not just about conquest but about the values that make the Ottoman dream worth fighting for. The bigger picture, a new player emerges. While Osman grapples with internal and external threats, Kuruluş Osman loves to introduce wildcard elements that shake up the status quo. The show's historical roots give it plenty of room to bring in new factions or characters, and episode 191 could drop a twist by introducing a mysterious new player. This doesn't have to be a big-name historical figure, just someone who shifts the power dynamics in an unexpected way. Here's a potential twist. What if a rogue Turkish tribe, unaffiliated with Osman's coalition, makes a bold move on the border? Maybe they raid a Byzantine outpost, complicating Osman's deal with Sophia, or seize a trade route that the K tribe relies on. Their leader could be a charismatic but unpredictable figure, think a younger, less disciplined version of Osman, who sees himself as a rival to the K leader. This tribe's actions would force Osman to confront a new kind of challenge, not an enemy like the Byzantines or Mongols, but a mirror of his own ambitions. The twist could be that their raid inadvertently helps Osman by exposing a Byzantine plot, creating a strange mix of rivalry and opportunity. Why would this matter? A new player would keep the narrative fresh, especially in the 6th season when the stakes are already sky-high. It'd also play into the show's theme of unity. Osman's vision is about bringing tribes together, but that's easier said than done when egos clash. Episode 191 might show Osman reaching out to this rogue leader, offering an alliance that tests both their resolves. This twist would set up a longer arc, with the new tribe becoming either a valuable ally or a thorn in Osman's side. For the audience, it'd be a thrilling curveball, reminding us that the road to empire is full of surprises. Wrapping up Part 3. Episode 191 is shaping up to be a roller coaster, with Surcote's potential sacrifice, Edebelai's spiritual guidance, and a new player shaking things up. These twists aren't just about keeping us glued to the screen, they're about the heart and soul of Kuruluş Osman, loyalty, faith, and the relentless pursuit of a dream. In Part 4, we'll dive into the women of the Kei tribe, Bala, Malhun, and others, and how their choices might spark some of the biggest surprises yet. Plus, we'll look at how the show's historical context might influence the next episode. What do you think Edebelai's warning might mean? Hit the comments, like, and subscribe for the next part of this analysis. Hey, everyone! We're back with Part 4 of our deep dive into Kuruluş Osman as we get ready for episode 191. So far, we've tackled Osman's risky deal with Sofia, the cracks in his alliances, the younger generation's struggles, Surcote's potential sacrifice, and the spiritual weight of Sheikh Edebelai's guidance. Now, we're shining the spotlight on the women of the Kei tribe, Bala Hatun, Malhun Hatun, and other key figures, who are just as crucial to the story as Osman himself. We'll also weave in the historical context that grounds the show and speculate on how it might shape the next episode's twists. No spoilers here, just pure analysis to get you hyped for what's coming. Let's dive in. Bala Hatun is the heart of the Kei tribe, a symbol of resilience and faith who's been by Osman's side through every storm. Her connection to Sheikh Bali gives her a unique perspective, often grounding Osman's ambitions in spiritual wisdom. But recent episodes have shown her grappling with the tribe's growing challenges, especially Osman's controversial deal with Sofia. Episode 190 hinted at her unease, not out of distrust in Osman but out of concern for the tribe's moral compass. Episode 191 could deliver a twist that puts Bala's convictions to the test, shaking up the tribe's dynamics. Here's a possible plot twist: what if Bala takes a stand against Osman's strategy in a way we haven't seen before? Imagine she learns something troubling about Sofia's deal, maybe a rumor that the Byzantines are using it to manipulate the tribe's allies. Instead of confronting Osman privately, Bala might address the issue publicly, perhaps during a council meeting, urging the Beys to reconsider their support. This wouldn't be an act of defiance but a desperate attempt to protect the tribe's unity and values. The twist would come when her words unintentionally fuel the dissenting Beys' agenda, giving them ammunition to challenge Osman's leadership. Suddenly, Bala's well-meaning action could create a rift, forcing her to navigate the fallout. Why would this matter? Bala's arc has always been about balancing her role as Osman's partner with her duty to the tribe's soul. A twist like this would push her into uncharted territory, showing her strength but also her vulnerability. It'd also highlight the show's theme of trust. Bala trusts Osman's vision, but her faith in Edebelai's teachings might lead her to question his methods. Episode 191 could give us a heartbreaking scene where Bala and Osman confront this tension, with Osman reassuring her that their shared dream is worth the risk. For fans, this would be a powerful moment, reminding us that even the strongest partnerships face trials. It'd also set up a longer arc where Bala works to repair the damage, proving her leadership in a new way. Malhun Hatun, Osman's other pillar, brings a different energy to the tribe. Her pragmatic approach and political savvy have made her a key player in securing alliances and managing resources. While Bala leans on faith, Malhun is all about action, and her support for Osman's deal with Sofia in episode 190 showed her willingness to embrace tough choices. But episode 191 could throw a twist that challenges Malhun's confidence in her own judgment, creating a ripple effect across the tribe. Picture this. What if Malhun uncovers a flaw in the Sofia deal that she initially overlooked? Maybe during a trade negotiation tied to the agreement, she discovers that the Byzantines are shortchanging the tribe, say, delivering inferior weapons or withholding promised supplies. This would be a personal blow to Malhun, who championed the deal as a way to strengthen the tribe's position. The twist could be that she decides to confront Sofia directly, bypassing Osman to protect his reputation. But Sofia, ever the schemer, might turn the tables, using Malhun's confrontation to paint the Kei tribe as untrustworthy, further straining Osman's alliances. This plot twist would resonate with the show's theme of sacrifice. Malhun's strength lies in her ability to make hard calls, but this moment would show the cost of those decisions. If her gamble backfires, she'd have to face Osman's disappointment and the tribe's scrutiny, testing her resilience. Episode 191 might end with Malhun doubling down, working behind the scenes to fix the deal, perhaps by striking a secret bargain with a neutral faction. This would deepen her character, showing her as a leader who doesn't just follow Osman but shapes the tribe's future in her own way. For the audience, it'd be a thrilling reminder that the women of Kuruluş Osman are as fierce and complex as the men. Kuruluş Osman draws heavily on the historical rise of the Ottoman Empire, and episode 191 is likely to reflect the challenges Osman I faced as he laid the foundation for a state. Historically, Osman had to contend with rival Turkish tribes, Byzantine schemes, and the looming threat of Mongol incursions, all while building a coalition strong enough to survive. The show weaves these elements into its drama, and the Sofia deal feels like a nod to Osman's real-life diplomacy with Byzantine governors. Episode 191 could use this context to introduce a twist that ties the present drama to the bigger picture of empire building. Here's a potential twist. What if a Byzantine governor, sensing Osman's growing power, sends an envoy with a provocative offer? Maybe they propose a formal alliance, not just a tactical deal like Sofia's, but a long-term pact that would integrate the Ki tribe into the Byzantine system as vassals. This would be a tempting but dangerous proposition, promising wealth and security but at the cost of Osman's independence. The twist could come when one of Osman's allies, like a wavering bey, secretly considers the offer, seeing it as a safer path than Osman's risky vision. This betrayal would force Osman to confront the harsh reality of his dream. Not everyone shares his belief in a sovereign Turkish state. Why does this matter? This twist would ground the show's drama in its historical roots, showing the immense pressure Osman faced to carve out a new path. It'd also play into the theme of vision. Osman's ability to inspire loyalty depends on convincing others that his dream is worth the sacrifice. Episode 191 might show him responding with a bold move, like rallying the tribe with a speech about their destiny, echoing the real Osman I's charisma. This would keep the audience hooked, wondering how Osman will navigate a world where even his allies can be swayed by promises of power.